What's up, YouTube? My name is Tanya from Nightfall Homestead. You are watching Micro Homesteading with Jake and Tanya, and today I am going to show you how to take your sweet potatoes that have sprouted those little vines that we call slips, and how you're going to take those off of your sweet potato and start to root them so you can plant them. Let's go. It's decided to be cold today. I think the high today is 66, and I think that was this morning because right now it's like 57. So that's frustrating, although it was like in the 90s, so that was super like over the top, but I definitely don't want it to be this chilly. So for today, we're just gonna do maintenance things in the garden aspect of what we have going on here. And one of those things is cutting our sweet potato slips so we can put them in water to root them. So unlike a regular potato, you know, a regular potato, it chits, it gets all the little pieces off of it, and you put it down into the ground, and then it grows up these like tubers, right? Sweet potatoes are not the same way, because sweet potatoes are actually part of the morning glory species, variety, family. So they're not like a traditional potato at all. So they do, in a sense, chit. They start putting out these little little things here, like these here, these smaller ones. But if you put them under the ground, you are just going to grow a bunch of really pretty vines that have really awesome flowers on them because they're a morning glory variety. So you're going to get lots of pretty awesome viney flowers, but you are not going to produce sweet potatoes. That's just not how it works. So these vines you need to clip off when they are about 4 to 6 inches long, and you can start your sweet potatoes, start this process either in water or in dirt. I choose to do it in dirt. I just have a better result that way. I experimented with having a couple in water this year because I've always just not had luck with that. And again, this year, I just didn't have good luck with it. Like they get about this big and it takes them forever, and my patience is almost none. So then I just end up throwing them in the dirt. So anyways, some of these potatoes, sweet potatoes, are some that I bought from the store. Some of them are from our harvest last year. We harvested like 40 pounds of sweet potatoes last year, and we had them planted right here behind us. This is our front yard, and you see these wood chips. It lines our sidewalk. The reason we put them there is because they are very pretty. Again, they produce the flowers, and so from somebody that's just driving by, it looks like we have just really pretty, like morning glory, viney flowers all over the place. They probably don't know that there are lots of sweet potatoes happening under the ground. So that's where I'm going to plant them again this year. There's a lot of controversy of whether to rotate your crops, but Paul Gauchi is someone that I respect and follow and see his success with his gardening, and he is correct. Like, if it does well in a certain spot, like, keep it there. And our sweet potatoes did so awesome over here last year, so we're going to try it again this year in the same spot. So I'm going to show you how, once you get your sweet potatoes to this point, what you need to do after that. Now, doing this from start to finish is a pretty long process, like 9 to 12 weeks from the time your sweet potato starts to show little sprouts to having them root and ready to plant. So I like to plant my sweet potatoes like mid-June. It takes a really long time for them to be ready, but they love the heat. They are very much a heat tolerant, a heat thriving plant, so you don't want to put them out too early because they're just not going to thrive that way. Okay. So you'll see here, this sweet potato, I should have done this probably last week, but see how they're already trying to like vine and hold on to each other? Because that's what they do. So we're going to cut it off down here at the bottom, and you just take some scissors and we're just going to cut it below this leaf here. And I don't know if you guys can see, but we are leaving a little bit here, because this will continue to grow and we'll get another shoot and another shoot and another shoot. So even if you put starting with 1 or 2 sweet potatoes, like you could potentially get, you know, dozens and dozens of slips, starts to plant in your garden. Okay, so we have this here. This is what, let me move you guys up. This is what you're going to clip off of your plant. Now, this is really, 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 really long. So anywhere that there is a leaf is where the roots will grow out of. Once you have ever seen sweet potatoes grow, they will shoot roots out of all of these little nodes. Like if you, they kind of like cover the ground like a melon or a pumpkin would, and here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see up close here. Let me try to focus it. See all these little nodes right here? Those are all little roots that they're gonna put off right there. And so I'm gonna cut this guy right here, and I'm gonna make 2 slips out of this. So we're just gonna cut him right here. And I'm just gonna pull this leaf off because we don't need the energy put into the leaf. We want it to produce roots. So we've cut off that leaf, and then I'm gonna cut off this bottom leaf right here. Okay. And then we're just gonna put it into some water. Now you can use clean water. I just have some rainwater that we've collected, and I'll probably cut this down a little bit more so it's not so tall. And then you just leave them in there for a week or 2, and once they've got some roots established in there, you want to get them planted. They can stay in this water for, you know, 3 or 4 weeks, but once those roots have established, they very much need a source of nitrogen. If you've got a water soluble nitrogen source that you want to put in your water, you should absolutely do that, because these plants, I mean, they need to survive, they need to thrive, and water just isn't going to cut it. So I know that I'll be able to plant these as soon as the roots are developed enough, so I won't need to do that. Yeah. Anyways, that's what you do. I'll go ahead and do the rest of these here and show you. This red potato, I actually, let me up close you guys here so you can see. I love sweet potatoes, by the way. It's like my favorite thing to eat, like my absolute favorite thing to eat. And you can grow it for free. You don't have to pay money to have sweet potatoes, and they're pretty expensive, especially if you get the organic kind. So you definitely can grow your own, and then cure them and store them long term, like through the winter. They do really well in a cool storage, like a cool dry storage place, or you could, you know, can them or whatever. Okay, so this sweet potato, I actually bought this to eat just a couple of months ago, and it started with these little guys here, so I just plopped them in here. And the thing about sweet potatoes is they just are gonna do they're just gonna do their thing on their own time. Like this one is just taking its time. This one apparently is the overachiever of the group. This guy wants to be the tallest of them all. It just kind of depends. We have some little ones going here. We've got some little ones coming up through here where we've got a sweet potato underneath the ground, underneath the dirt. And I've just had these on my porch through, I don't know, February is when I probably did put these in here. I want to get this sweet potato out so we can, or at least uncover it, because I'm pretty sure this is from last year, one of our sweet potatoes. And I want to show you, here, this one especially, I want to show you. Don't throw away your sweet potatoes. Let me show you. So this is one last year when I was harvesting them, I chopped it a little bit, and it wasn't quite, you know, big enough or pretty enough for me to eat it. So I just kept it in the bottom of the potato drawer that we have in our hutch and threw it out here. It didn't have any little starts on it at first, and I just threw it out here, and look at it. It's got lots of little slips on it. So don't throw your sweet potatoes away. Even if they're cut like this, people will say, oh, they'll rot. Some of them absolutely will, but some of them will still do okay. This one absolutely has managed to survive. I've grown sweet potato slips. Let me see where this one's coming from. From sweet potatoes that are like super teeny tiny, like this one. Look at this. This is not a sweet potato I would have eaten because it's small and it was not, you know, appealing. It's not worth my time to cut it up and eat it. And it absolutely is going to provide a whole bunch of sweet potatoes for us to eat this year. So don't throw these out when you harvest these. Keep them and absolutely use them to your benefit, and just plop them in some dirt in January, February, put them by some light. Or, you know, if you want to try to do it in the water, because some people have really good luck with that. I've seen people grow their sweet potatoes in the water with no problem at all. So this guy will probably get a little bit more green on him now that I've uncovered him. He just hasn't had a whole bunch of light because he's been buried underneath the dirt there. And this guy here is doing okay. This one was also from the store, and it started putting off little shoots, so I threw him in here, and he's getting some roots. See, let's go ahead and harvest the rest of these and get some slips going, and we'll put them in the window. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this down now before I get too many more of these in here, just so need to learn to turn my notifications down before I start filming, because I'm quite the big deal on social media, so I always get notifications. That's not true. I usually just post pretty interesting stuff. For instance, yesterday my son was like, literally that's what these people are commenting on, if you can hear my notifications. My son was at school. It's the end of the school year. And the boys in study hall, they were in study hall. There's no work to do. It's the end of the year, so they went outside and they were just messing around playing catch with each other or whatever. And Ashton turned his head and was like talking to one of his friends. Well, the pitcher of the baseball team, and Ashton just happens to be the catcher, but normally he would have, like, you know, catcher stuff on. Anyways, the pitcher of the baseball team threw the ball at him, not realizing in that split second that Ashton was not paying attention, and everybody went like that, you know, like there's no reaction time at this point, and so nobody could even warn him. And when Ashton heard everybody do that, he turned to see, and the baseball hit him right in the face. And if you're queasy or don't like blood and guts, don't look at this next picture. But it clean knocked his teeth out. You know, in the movies when you see people like spit out their teeth, that's 100% what happened here. So then he video calls me. He's got blood gushing out of his face, and we went and picked him up, threw his whole teeth, the root and everything, into some milk. His teeth are in this cup of milk. And went to the emergency room and then to the dentist here in town, and they literally just put his teeth back in his face. Anyways, I don't know why I was telling you that story. I don't remember what led me to that story, but oh, it's because of my notifications. So I posted that on Facebook, so everybody is commenting on it. So all right, so we have our first two. We're gonna let these guys, I'm gonna cover him back up with some dirt on these roots a little bit. Some of these guys are a little confused and are growing down. See, even like this one here, just a real small potato. Really, really small, guys. Don't dismiss the small guys. We're gonna cut this guy off right. Let's do right here. Okay, so we've got our long stem. We're gonna cut off our leaf here, and then let's also cut him off right here because he's still 4 inches. You want it to be about 4 inches long, and we have a node right here where you can see where the little roots are gonna come out of. Can you see that? Right here. I'm sorry if you can't see that, but there's little teeny tiny white nodes that are coming off right there. Run Weasley. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So just off those 2 shoots, we've got 4 slips. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing over here with these longer ones. I'm going to probably just leave these this length here. I could probably break them down to 2, but I want them to at least be 4 inches long. I don't want to get them too short to where, you know, they're teeny tiny. Just like this. Throw it in your water. And when you're clipping them, I like to leave a leaf on the part that I leave on the potato. I don't clip it clear down to nothing. I leave one leaf there so that way it's got one to work with. And then just clip those bottom leaves off of these, stick it in the water. Okay, let's do one more here. We can get this guy. We'll cut off this leaf here. Okay. And then we've got, let's count how many slips we got out of this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 slips so far, and we most definitely have, you know, 2 dozen more that are happening here. And you can just let it go and let it go and let it go until you have as many slips as you really want. I guess I don't know what the average like production is of each slip. I think it just very much depends on your weather and the soil and, you know, just the overall condition of its growing time. So we're gonna have lots of sweet potatoes this year, and I'm gonna let them completely take over our yard. Last year we tried to trellis them and it was so pretty. We had like a wall of morning glories, and we had some like yard lights out here, some solar yard lights. My cat is messing with my tripod. Ron Weasley, let go. And it was really pretty, but I want these to be able to vine down and get more nutrients because at every leaf it's gonna vine. So I wanna let it crawl out just like my pumpkins and my melons do. So we're gonna do that. Anyways, I'm gonna edit this video and throw it up for you guys. I've been so busy with kids and baseball and graduation and animals. We have puppies and kitties and rabbits and baby goats. Like, it's been so busy. I've been really trying, plus planting and getting everything ready. I have so many awesome plants happening. I cannot wait to show you guys. The next video is gonna be a garden tour. I will have things a little bit more squared away. Right now it's a complete shit show. So I don't want to walk you through it right this second, but stay tuned for the next video so we can go through each one of our gardens. We have several gardens here. We have flowers and vegetables and wild prairie plants that we also have that we allow to live here and thrive, and we really enjoy those as well. So I can't wait to take you through everything that we have planted. And if you liked this video or found it helpful at all, please like this video. Consider subscribing to our channels. There's a lot more crazy all over the place, like random stories throughout the intended purpose of the video. Yeah, because that's just who I am. You know, squirrel. Anyways, goodbye.